Hello and welcome to Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV and to Ramble. So this is probably more a personal ramble for myself, but I just want to talk about the last few months and how I've been. So for those who don't know, or many of you probably won't know, is that I've not been at work for the last 3 months. I just returned to work on a phased return on Monday just there. This was due to a burnout. A lot happened in the month of June. Personally, work related, and yeah, just things going on at home personally. Family member had surgery, family member ended up in hospital. You might have seen that video when I done a drive around Scarborough. And it all came to a head at Edinburgh Airport back in July. I think what sort of tipped me over the edge was a delayed flight. So, as I said about a delayed flight, the flight was to get this car, the Smart. That was what sort of maybe tipped it. Yeah. Also the fact I was flying on my own, first time on my own. I've never done that before. I had reservations about the booking agent. We didn't seem to get rave reviews, but that all sorted itself out when I got to the airport. It was just sitting in the airport. You've got so much time in your head because the flight's been delayed by, I think it's delayed by about an hour and a half. And you get so much time thinking, and you end up, one of my symptoms was that I knew I was getting uptight was I could not stop going to the toilet at the airport. So I got down to Birmingham, picked up the Smart from Ian, and then drove back the following day. And at that sort of time, my head felt a bit clearer coming back up, and yeah, I've spent a lovely weekend with child free with the wife. We went to an antiques fair just along the road. Also just a chance to get Smart out as well. Yeah. Come Monday morning, I was not motivated for work at all. I just lay in my bed. I just could not be bothered getting up. So I called into work, said that basically everything seemed to have just landed on top of myself over the last month. And yeah, end of work. It got towards the end of the week and I realised I was coming up for, I hadn't been at work for a week, so I had to sign myself off. So I think initially I got signed off for 2 weeks of work. in that time, we went away on a break to visit family down south. So it's like a wee holiday. And it felt really, really good just to get away from the situation back in Edinburgh with what's going on. Yeah, we had a great time. We went down to Sheffield. We went to places like Bakewell. We went to a theme park. It was just great just to spend time with the family. Came back on the Friday. It was a long drive. It was a really, really horrible sticky day. Really hot day. Not great for spending hours in an unair conditioned car. And Saturday was when we had a problem with the smart, when the crank position sensor went. And yeah, that sort of pushed me a wee bit further again as well. I didn't envisage spending a bit of money out on the car at that time. I think what also didn't help matters was the breakdown company, who are really absolutely crap, if you can guess what that means. Just weren't wanting, just didn't really provide the service that we should have done. But I'll just float back to just before the holiday. Before the holiday, I'd went to a place called Thrive, which is a mental health support agency for NHS Lothians, I think. And they put me on a waiting list for a course called Decider Skills. So I was waiting on that in the meantime. So I think I was still signed off from work with for a couple of weeks anyway. Yeah. A little bit later, this is totally raw. We went for a family walk. We'd always wanted to visit what we call the Collington Tunnel. If you've never been to Collington Tunnel, it's absolutely magnificent. Basically, it's an old railway tunnel at Collington, the Collington area of Edinburgh, and it's been beautifully decorated in art and murals the full length of the tunnel. Now, we parked at the other end of the tunnel, over by, now where was it? Oh, this is gonna bug me now. We parked at the other side of Collington by I've got to think. Yeah, so we parked the car near Redford Barracks. There's an Edinburgh leisure place down there. I can't think what it's called. But it's near Redford Barracks. You go down one of the side streets, and then you walk into sort of down, I think it's called Craiglockert Dell, and then you walk towards the tunnel. Well, we decided to stop a short while before the tunnel, and we were sitting at a bench when one of the kids asked, "What's that bit of rope there?" So we looked, and it looked very, very high for what would be deemed a child's swing. And my head started racing. I do think I know what it was for, and it sort of triggered me. So that sort of put me back. just realising what that rope was there for, which led to a lot of tension over that weekend. Sort of lost the plot a wee bit. Just took myself for a walk. Then sort of blurted out to family that I just wasn't feeling great. So that was into August. Yeah. August, I think then I got myself signed off till the end of August, I think. It's really difficult to think how I've been feeling. Yeah, I got myself signed off to August, which actually allowed me to concentrate in getting this car ready for Rustaville. By that time, the Smart had been repaired. I'd done a couple of things to it. I think I changed like the tail light bulbs on it. Not tail light bulbs, the number plate bulbs. I'm really, my head's just thingy to now, fried. And I got a phone call, then an email confirmation to say that my course was starting in the middle of September. And yeah, it got to the start of September, and I thought, right, so yeah, I think I was talking about I'd got an appointment for Thrive for my emotions course, or decider skills course. And I decided I was feeling better in myself, but I didn't want to return to work until I'd been in the first week of the course. Just in case something, I didn't know what the course was about, but just in case it triggered me and it put me back. So that's what I've done. Yeah, so I've done that, and went to week 1 of the course, and I found it really helpful. We're going through a book, Decider Skills, Skills for Self-Help. That's been really beneficial. It's helping me to have skills to put into place in case I feel overwhelmed. It gives me skills to distract myself, and much more. One of the techniques is called the stop technique, where you basically stop, you take time to reflect, you take a breath in, and then carry on. It's maybe not exactly like that, but it gives you that sort of principle. I think what else helped me over these last few months as well was I got involved with getting involved with mental health awareness with Andy's Man's Club, and also we had our club opening, our new club in Edinburgh opening up as well. So these sort of things spurred me on a bit, and helped me in me getting well again, or in better health. So I done an awareness day up at a travellers camp, just up the road from my house, which was quite handy. I done an awareness day in a supermarket, and then I done an awareness day at Edinburgh University. That really took me out of my comfort zone, but it was really rewarding. Over the course of that 2 or 3 hours, we spoke to 200 students about Andy's Man's Club and how it all works. So we now get to September the 23rd, and I was due to contact the GP for a review, and I spoke to my doctor. I'd actually proposed a phased return to work, that I'd quite like to do, and I couldn't really do anything until my manager at the time, she was on holiday, so I had to sign myself off again for that week. I wanted to actually start back that week, but just a couple of days at 3 hours a day. Fortunately, my manager wasn't there, and I had to sign myself off again for another week, which takes me up to Rustival weekend, and that was probably really beneficial. So yeah, that last week was probably really beneficial, just to get myself on the straight and narrow. It also gave me that preparation time for Rustival, for travelling down on the Friday, and just taking in the day. It was a long day. I was there probably from about 7:15 in the morning. I never left about 4:30 in the afternoon. And it also just allowed me to do a little bit of filming at Rustival. I didn't go overboard with filming this year. I maybe done probably 45 minutes worth of footage, but I spread it over a few days. And yeah, if you've not been to Rustival, then the ethos of Rustival is everyone is welcome, every car is welcome, and it's a really friendly place to be. If you've not been to Rustival before, it's the most friendliest car show I've ever been to. I spoke to so many people, and it was great just to see the little Smart reunited on the Hubnut stand with Ian and Carly. And for people who probably not seen the Smart, this was their chance to see the Smart since it got moved on to me. So after what felt like a long day, I drove back up to Edinburgh Saturday night. Got in the door at the early hours of Sunday morning, and Sunday I was really sore, I was really tired, and that pang anxiety was back again. I didn't want to go back to work. Didn't want to go back. It felt like that. I knew it was only going to be for 3 hours, but when I got up on Monday morning, that anxiety was still there, until I got into the office and seen a friendly face. That anxiety disappeared, and I think what relaxed me a bit more was that I couldn't physically get into my laptop that day. They had suspended my account at work, so it meant I was only really in the office for my working day. That day was only half an hour. The time I spent in the office and on the phone to IT. Today I was at my Decider Skills course, and I walked in, and the mental health practitioner guy said, "You look a lot more positive." And I'm going to take that. I do feel a lot more positive. I feel a lot happier in myself. but it's not been the easiest 3 months. It's just that effect of having a burnout and then just trying to recover from it. I do feel more positive, and I mentioned that to the group as well. I went 2 weeks ago when I started this group, I was nervous, I didn't want to come in, but now I've learned these skills that I've put into practice, and I feel more inspired, I feel more energetic. I don't really like talking about myself. I still feel uncomfortable facing the camera, but I'm glad that the last few months that I've had is that I've been able to use services like Thrive. I've been able to raise awareness for Andy's Man's Club, help open up a new club in Edinburgh, and basically take the time for myself to take the time in myself to work on myself, make myself get better. Well, this ramble is nearly just over 20 minutes long. I don't normally ramble this long, but I just want to say, if you're feeling low, if you're feeling a bit worn out, take the time. Take that time to work on yourself. Take the time you need to get yourself well. If you need to talk about your mental health, there's lots of mental health charities out there. I'd always say Andy's Man's Club. If you look up Andy's Man's Club on Google, you can find the club nearest to you. It's just a peer-to-peer support group for any man over 18 to talk about their mental health. For the last 5 years, it's been really beneficial to me. I'm not perfect. I'm probably going to have another burnout at some point down the line. But hopefully, now I'm on this course, I can identify skills where it might help prevent a burnout. It might help me to take time more for myself, and realise when I have to cut things out of my life that aren't helping in a way. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I just want to say thanks for watching this ramble. It's not my usual ramble, but feel free to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in a future video very soon.